Hello, welcome to the Lululoves Crochet Podcast, episode 9. My name is Emma and this is my podcast all about crochet and the other things I've been enjoying recently. I hope you're all well. It's a really beautiful day today and it's half term here, so the children are all at home, so I apologise if you hear noises. I've told them all to be quiet, but children. And I think actually I'm a week late posting this podcast because I was unwell last week. I'd been fighting a nasty virus, so I just sort of stopped everything in the end and just sort of gave into it. But I'm feeling much better now, and I'm back today to show you some progress on some of the projects I've been working on. I will start with my goldenrod sweater. Oh, excuse me. This is the pattern by, gosh, I've forgotten her name again. She's 11 Handmade on Instagram. I'll put the details up there for you. So, I don't know if you're going to be able to see very well. It now has a body. I haven't worked on it actually for over a week because, like I said, I haven't been very well. I feel like I'm sat close to the camera. There we go. It's coming on beautifully though. I did get a little bit confused once I moved on from the yoke. I had to rework it only once, and then I sorted myself out. It's lovely. I've just got to the point where I need to do the edging, the ribbing, I think, on the bottom, and then it just needs some arms. So I was hoping it would have been finished by this podcast really, but like I said, I just sort of stopped last week. So this is beautiful though. I'm still really enjoying it. So hopefully that will be finished in the next couple of days, and I can move on to something else. I'm really looking forward to wearing it. Yeah, there's not really much else I can say about that, apart from the fact that it's lovely. Yes, so that's it. That's really my main work in progress. I haven't even really worked on it that much. I feel like you could easily finish this pattern in a week, really. So I'm a little bit disappointed that it's taken me a little bit longer, but that's life. So I'm really enjoying working on that still. I should have that done, I think. Well, it's half term, like I said, so maybe not this week, because I haven't really had much crochet time this week either with the children home. So I'm a bit behind in everything really, and there's not much to show you today, so I feel like this may be quite a short podcast. And I will show you one other work in progress. Excuse me. Got it in my lovely DAP bag. I am working on a crochet top for my 17-year-old. She's very into these sort of 70s crochet style tops. So I've just come up with a little square. It's like a circle within a square. And I actually bought a colour pack for this, which I don't normally do. I normally like to choose my own colours. It's Paintbox Cotton DK, and the colour pack I think was called Autumn Leaves. It's got some lovely, I'll show you some of the shades. It's got some lovely oranges and reds. There we go, look. What else have we got in here? Some mustardy colours. Really sort of earthy. I suppose, autumnal colours, some browns. And again, they're not usually colours that I would pick, but I just thought that they would be perfect for this project. And my daughter loved them as well. There were a couple of colours. I think the colour pack, you get 10 different shades. And I think there were 2 that I chose not to use, and I just substituted them for a black because I thought that would look nice. And then I ordered a couple more of this, I think this is called champagne white or something like that. So I've just worked up lots of little centres, and then I'm making them into the squares, and then I intend to join them as you go. So I'm thinking of making like a pretty little bardo top for her. I'm not following a pattern, and I'm just sort of making it up as I go, really. So I'm just focusing on the squares, and obviously I've got all my ends to tie in. So I think I'm going to need about 30 of these. They are really retro colours, aren't they? Really 70s. I'm just sort of mixing them up randomly. I'm not following any sort of method. And I will try and join them together to make a little summer top for her. She's only small, so I think that should be quite an easy project. She says, famous last words. So that's the other little project I'm working on. I've just been sort of taking that out and about in the car when we've been out. We've been on a couple of little days out recently, so it's quite a nice travel project. And I enjoy working granny squares, so it's quite nice to be doing some granny squares again. And that's it, really. The other thing I worked on was a commissioned piece for Inside Crochet magazine. It's for their 100th issue. I'm not sure when that comes out, actually. So I can't really show you that. But as soon as I know, I will share that. It was a really nice little piece. And I was really sort of honoured to be asked to contribute something. So, because as you know, I love that magazine. So, yes, I did work on that over a couple of days. And then the last thing I've got to show you, and it's the only finished item that I have to show you, are these, excuse me, beautiful mittens. Now these, this was a test project actually. The lovely Lean from her Instagram is Picot and Tricot. Sent me an email and asked if I would test her new pattern. And I don't normally have time to test patterns, but I did have a bit of time, and you know, it's only a small project. So I said yes, I'd have a go. And they are worked with, I worked them with sock yarn and a 3mm. I think the pattern called for a 2.5. Maybe, I'll have to check that. And yes, they're lovely. They were really simple to make. They've got this beautiful sort of ribbing. They are lovely. I just used some sock yarn that I already had. It is Katia Socks Merino Tweed. Looks like that. And it just says colour 51, so I'm not sure. It's sort of a very neutral kind of. It's actually really lovely yarn. I hadn't worked with it before, but anyway, Lean very kindly said that by way of thanks, she would send me a PDF of her shawl pattern. It's called the Anne's Flower. I think it's Anne's Flower shawl. It's beautiful. It's a shawl all made up of filet crochet with these beautiful flower motifs. I'll insert some pictures here for you. And the minute I seen it, I put it on my wish list, and I'd sort of commented and said how beautiful it was. So she very kindly offered to send me a copy of that by way of thanks. So I think that will be one of my next projects. But she also very sweetly named the mittens after me. So these are called the Emma mittens. I mean, there we go. Aren't they beautiful? And they've got the lovely crab stitch detailing. I love that. And she has very, very kindly offered to give a copy of this pattern and the Anne's flower shawl as a giveaway prize to one of my subscribers. So if you would like a chance of winning the pattern for these beautiful Emma mitts or the Anne's flower shawl, just leave a comment below, and I will pick a winner from the comments and announce it in the next podcast. And then I will send your details to Lena, and she will email them over to you. They really are beautiful patterns. So that's the only finished item I have to show you, but they're really lovely. And actually, I really enjoyed working. Normally when I make mittens and that, I don't often use this sort of finer yarn, but I think because of the tweediness of this yarn, they feel really sort of substantial and sturdy, and just beautiful, like really simple design, I suppose, but really, really effective. So I have been enjoying these on my dog walks, and I much prefer fingerless mitts. So they are lovely. So like I said, if you are interested in winning the pattern for this and the Anne's flower shawl, leave a comment below. Comment anything. It's not important really. And go and have a look at Lean's Instagram, because it really is beautiful. She has some lovely, really lovely patterns. So I was really, really honoured and I'm really thankful that I got to try them and the shawl, and that's I get to give one of you guys the chance to try them too. So that is it. Oh, I've got an end. Every time I show projects, I find an end. Still. So that is it really for the crochet. That's not very much at all, is it? So I have worked I've only finished 2 objects, and one of them I can't show you, so a little bit poor. But like I said, I had a week off. I didn't really achieve very much at all in that week. I just stopped. I do have a few other little things to show you, so I will quickly talk about those. I think I mentioned that I was running out of neutral yarns for my Saturday square blanket. The idea was that I made 1 square every week on a Saturday morning, and by the end of the year I would have 52 squares that I could join together and make a blanket. And I've been running out of options for yarn, and I do have lots of acrylic, but I wasn't very happy with the squares that I was making up with them, so I haven't actually made a Saturday square for the past couple of weeks. So I ordered a really lovely skein of hand-dyed yarn, and again I'm trying very hard not to order yarn for the sake of it, so I'm determined to use this. But look at this. This is by Dusty Dimples. There you go. And it is in the shade I Do Believe in Fairies. Goodness. Look at that. That is just stunning, isn't it? Now, this is a DK weight yarn. It is 75% merino and 25% nylon. Now obviously I'm working my blanket up in Aran, weight yarn, but I feel like I could probably double up. And that would make a really nice effect, or mix this in with another DK, like a cream DK. That might make it go a bit further. So I intend to use this in my blanket just to give it a little bit of interest. And because it's beautiful, I definitely would order some more yarns from her. There's her little card there with all the details. I will write them below for you anyway. So yes, really, really pleased to have something I can start making my blanket with again, really, because it's been a bit neglected. And the other thing I bought, which isn't not related to crochet, but I was in Aldi the other day with Lulu, and she is obsessed with crafting and making things and generally making a mess. But we spotted these fat squares in the infamous middle aisle of Aldi, and they are little Peter Rabbit. They've got must have the movie coming out soon. So we thought we would get some to do some upside down Easter crafting. And I don't really want to unwrap them because some of them are just really, really beautiful. They've got lots of different characters, and I love these. That's such a retro design. So I had a blue set and a lovely pink set here. Let me try and think. It's really hard to show you. I think that's one of my favourites. So really lovely. And so I bought a set for Lulu to do some crafting with, and I bought another set to use as a giveaway prize, because next podcast will be my 10th podcast, and I'm also very close to 1,000 subscribers, which is amazing. And I'm very thankful that you keep coming back to say hello and see what I'm up to. So I thought I would do a giveaway on the next podcast. So what I've been doing is every time I've podcast and I've mentioned a favourite or something I've been enjoying, I've been buying 2 of them. So I've accumulated a little box of goodies to do a giveaway with of all my favourite things. So there's books, yarn, fabric, all sorts of things really. So I will share that with you in the next podcast. I'm really excited to do that. I think that would be a really fun giveaway. So I've got one extra set of the fat squares to go into there. And then lastly, I will just talk to you about what I've been reading and watching. I'll start with books. I did finish Tender as the Night. I don't think I would recommend that, only because there wasn't much of a story, to be honest with you. It was beautifully written, and it hasn't put me off trying other books. But it was quite slow going, and I felt like it was a bit self-indulgent as well. I didn't take a lot away from it really. So but I finished it. I'm glad I did. But I don't think I would read it again. But I have moved on to this. This is The Mermaid and Mrs. Hancock. This book came out, I think, at the end of January, and I'd had it on pre-order because I'd already read a sort of preview, and it's fantastic. I mean, I'm only I'm about 100 pages in. It's it reminds me a bit of The Miniaturist. If you enjoyed The Miniaturist, I really do think you would enjoy this one. It's about a merchant who his captain comes back from one of his journeys, and he sold his ship and all his cargo in exchange for a mermaid. It's a dead mermaid, which is a little bit sad. I thought the mermaid might have been living, but and he sets it up as an exhibition and really gets pulled into high society, and it really is a good book. I mean, like I said, I'm only 100 pages in, and it is one of those books that I read a chapter, and then I think, I'm just going to read another chapter. And, before you know it, you've been reading for over an hour. So I'm really enjoying it. Only just started it. But yes, I think I'm going to enjoy that story. I'm enjoying it so far. So I would definitely recommend that. Like I said, although I haven't finished it, I do think if you enjoyed The Miniaturist or any of those books, a bit historical, you would really enjoy that. So that's what I'm reading. Oh, it's by Imogen, Hermes, Gowar. Sorry. I'll put all the details below. I probably pronounced that wrong. And then the other book I bought, we went to the Jane Austen's house museum in I don't know whereabouts it is. A little village in Alton, I think. It's near Winchester in Southampton. Anyway, we'd never been. It's a lovely, beautiful country house in a village. It's not very big really, and there's not you'd only need sort of an hour or maybe 2 hours to sort of get round. So I love Jane Austen, so we had a look around there and went for a walk, and then we drove into Winchester and had a look around the cathedral, and Jane Austen's actually buried in the cathedral in Winchester, so that was quite nice. But anyway, they had a tiny little gift shop, and I saw this book. They have all editions of the books. It's Pride and Prejudice. Can you see that? Isn't that beautiful? Now, I do own a copy of Pride and Prejudice, obviously, but I could not. I kept walking past this volume. I mean, even just look at that. It's lovely, and the illustrations in it. I'll try and find a couple for you. I mean, there are lots of illustrations, like even just some of the plainer pages are beautiful, and it has some fold out images. Oh, just look. Can you see? Just fell in love with it, and I couldn't walk away without it. So, like I said, I have read Pride and Prejudice and probably didn't need another copy. But, if you were planning to buy a gift for a Jane Austen, here we go, look. And these ones actually unfold. They're just so beautiful. And, the illustrations are on most of the pages. So, even when there's a lot of text, there's a little image or something quirky. I'm not sure who Alice Petullo, illustrated by Alice Petullo, I think that's how you pronounce it. I just think this would make such a beautiful gift for anyone that loves Jane Austen. So I did treat myself to that, and actually I will read it again, and I really enjoy it, I think. So yes, that's another book that I purchased. I've been trying to be quite good because I've got a stack of books that I've been collecting that are waiting to be read. So I'm trying very hard not to order any new books. Like I said, I already own a copy of that book, but sometimes you just can't help yourself, especially if, you're a book lover. And that is it, really, for things that I have bought, that I'm working on. I have been watching, actually Rob and I have been really into watching two Netflix series actually. One of them was, the first one was called Mindhunter, and that was 10 episodes, and it's set in the 70s, and it's really about two FBI agents, and they go around the country interviewing serial killers or murderers in the hope that they can set out a way of identifying future killers, so profiling really, and it really is about the introduction of profiling into the FBI, and of course it was a brand new thing really, and no one knew anything about it, and they came up with the term serial killer, and it's really interesting, and then how they start to put those little sort of nuggets of information they get into some sort of structure for identifying motive and what I suppose characteristics of the people that commit those crimes. They start to put it into practice to catch criminals. It's really interesting, and Rob sat through that as well. So I know that must have been quite a good one, because he won't normally watch anything I watch on Netflix. And then I think someone recommended to him the series Unabomber, about the Unabomber, and it was of a similar sort of thread really, because it was about how they managed to catch the Unabomber by using a profiler, but how they introduced a new type of profiling, which was the linguistics, because he'd been active for about 17 years and no one had managed, and they had stacks and stacks of profiles from different profilers and psychologists, and no one had managed to catch him. And this guy starts looking at the letters that he writes and his manifestos, and they managed to I mean, it's incredible really the way they managed to profile him through all this sort of his language and the way he wrote. And of course that was very looked down on, because that was really a new science, linguistics. So that's really interesting as well. Really enjoyed that. And that's it really. I've not been watching anything else. That was two quite long series, so we've watched those over the past couple of weeks and enjoyed those. And yes, I think that's about all I have to share with you today. I will be back in 2 weeks. I may even be back a bit before now, because I'm a bit behind. We'll see, but definitely in 2 weeks. I hope you are all well. Please leave a comment and subscribe if you would like to be entered into the giveaway for the patterns. And I will see you all again in a couple of weeks. Take care. Bye.